Joining us from central London is Raoul Ruparel. He's the co-director at the Open Europe think tank. It's a Eurosceptic think tank that calls for reform of the European Union. Hello to you. Thanks for being with us. First of all, what do you think of what Donald Tusk has said in response to David Cameron's belief that there needs to be proper renegotiation of Britain's relationship with Brussels?
Well, he hasn't told us a huge amount new, to be honest. He's reaffirmed that there is some progress on certain issues, but that there still needs to be a serious discussion and some details worked out on all the issues, but in particular on this issue of limiting EU migrants' access to benefits for 4 years. I think one interesting point of his letter was the overall tone, highlighting the need for other member states to engage more constructively and in more detail with this reform negotiation, suggesting that they haven't quite done that so far, but also challenging the narrative that David Cameron and the UK have not been putting forward their demands sufficiently. It suggests that actually the other side needs to engage a bit more as well.
Oh, okay, so both sides need to do a little bit more research and, frankly, need to lay their cards on the table a little bit more clearly as to what exactly they want.
Well, yes, very much so. I think it highlights that we're still talking in big political terms and that the details remain to be filled in. He spoke of good progress. He spoke in generalities, as David Cameron did in his letter to Donald Tusk a few weeks ago. So there's still a lot to be done. He highlighted that the December Council, despite some reports, would involve a serious discussion. I think he also expressed some frustration that lots of countries and even the Commission have been putting up roadblocks and obstacles to these negotiations, highlighting the legal restrictions and what can't be done, rather than engaging on, OK, let's find a political agreement and then we can figure out how to do it. And I think that's what the December Council will be focusing on. OK, but the specific point on banning migrant workers from within the EU from claiming in-work benefits for 4 years. Now, Donald Tusk says there are substantial political differences over David Cameron's wish to bring in this new rule. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It seems that he's going to have a lot of difficulty doing that, and as a result could scupper the whole negotiation. Well, certainly. I think we've known all along this would be the most difficult part of the renegotiation, but we also know it's the most important. Immigration ranks very high on people's concerns, and it's clear that if David Cameron is to succeed in this negotiation and campaign and win a referendum, he will need to have something on immigration. I thought Tusk's wording was interesting in that he focused on the politics, not the legal aspect of it. He highlighted that we need to find a political agreement, and this point makes it maybe slightly easier because David Cameron can highlight to those countries that are concerned, such as Poland and the Eastern European countries, some of the other political benefits that the UK, being a member of the EU, brings for them, notably on foreign policy and security. And I think it was interesting that he didn't play up the concerns that we've heard from other institutions, such as the Commission, that this, even if there was a political agreement, would be legally impossible. So he's left scope there for this to be done. I think what he's trying to say is we all need to get round the table, have a serious political discussion about this, look at the trade-offs and see why it's important to keep the UK inside and find some agreement on this issue.
OK, Raoul, thank you. Raoul Ruparel there, co-director of the Open Europe think tank. Thank you very much.